As I say, this is kind of the first stage in using Analyst Studio. I'm just going to click on the table name now, and you can see it says Insert Table Name into Editor. When you click on that, to generate SQL with AI Assist, you use this -- prompt. Perfect, we've got a where clause. Admittedly fairly simple, but it's established that Dwight Schrute is a value within Account Manager. The Experts, back with another Analyst Studio video today. So this is the first real feature of Analyst Studio, and it's the Write SQL section. So we're going to be looking at how to access that, what that means, and any key features within. So firstly, once you're in Analyst Studio, how do you access the Write SQL section? So if you're in the My Work section on the left-hand side here, you can see we get some options across the top. Use a dataset, Write SQL, upload a Google Sheet, and make a new dataset. So today we're going to be focusing on Write SQL. As I say, this is kind of the first stage in using Analyst Studio. You're going to connect to your database, choose a table, write some SQL, and as it says there, you're going to query your data for any ad hoc reporting. So that's one way you can access it. I personally like to use the plus icon in the top right, just because it's always there, whatever window you're in. So there we go, got it again, just as a pop out, Write SQL. So I'm going to select that. That takes us to a new window, and here we go, we're in the SQL editor. Anyone that's used SQL before, this window will look very familiar. So you just have your canvas in the middle where you can write your syntax. On the right hand side you have your tables to select based on your connection, and there's not an awful lot more to show here. So I'm just going to grab a table, and if you click on the table that you want, you get this bottom right corner, gives you some information around columns within that table and their data types. I'm just going to click on the table name now, and you can see it says Insert Table Name into Editor when you click on that. So we'll do so, and then I will just do a select star from, I'm going to tick the format, or I'm going to click the format button, format it nicely, leave it with the limit 100 checked, just so we only return the first 100 rows, just so it runs quickly, and hit run. And again, the information that's returned at the bottom, very obvious. So here's the data in this first window. You get this field section where you can see the actual columns, the field type, the data type, and then their aggregation. And source shows you where it's come from, so in this case the SQL statement. If you go back to the data menu, you can copy the data or export it to CSV. So that's it. Then you just go on and do the SQL writing that you want to see the data. Perhaps you're figuring out joins or seeing what the data actually looks like. But there's one final section to show you in this, which is this AI Assist menu, which is kind of hidden at the moment. It's just there on the right. Give that a click and you get this window, which gives you some information to say, to generate SQL with AI Assist, you use this -- prompt in the SQL window to indicate that it's going to go into the AI mode. Type in what it is you want to achieve, and then we're going to hit the Generate SQL icon in the top right here, and that's going to generate the SQL. Hopefully it's correct based on the AI's interpretation of what you've asked. And then if you're happy with it, you can insert it into the SQL window. So let's do that up here. And say -- to go into the AI input section. You can see it's gone blue, so that's great because we know it's enabled. And I'm going to, based on the data, look at, we've got a date column here, so I'll try and utilize something date related, status completed or cancelled, so I'll utilize something there, and I will use an account manager name because I know some of the account manager names, so let's leverage one of them. So let's say only show me, so we can imagine this is going to do a where clause to filter out records. So there we go, only show me Dwight Schrute's accounts. So we're expecting this to create a where clause that's going to say account manager equals Dwight Schrute, even though I haven't specified that this value here, Dwight Schrute, is a value within the account manager column from June 2021 that were not completed. So we're going to hit generate SQL up here, and I'll zoom in when that generates. Okay, so what do we have here? So perfect, we've got a where clause. Admittedly fairly simple, but it's established that Dwight Schrute is a value within Account Manager, even though if I just move over to the right here to say, I actually put an apostrophe S on the end of Dwight Schrute's there, so it's figured out that that should be a value. That's great. purchase stat is within that range, so greater than or equal to the 1st of June 2021 and less than the 1st of July 21, and the status should not be completed. So again, it figured out that status should not be completed. I didn't say that completed was a value within status, but it's looked at the data and figured that out. So if we're happy with that, we can click this icon to insert SQL into editor. And if you keep an eye on the editor window on the left here, there we go, it's inserted it. And I'm going to uncheck the limit 100, so we'll get all the rows where this is applicable. Let's hit run. Okay, so there we go. Let's establish if it's correct. So the status is only returned or cancelled. There isn't anything completed. These are within June 2021. Great. And hopefully if we come over to the right, account manager is Dwight Schrute. So that's exactly what we were hoping to see. It's worked well. Granted, that was a pretty basic bit of AI syntax, or syntax for the AI to understand and generate the syntax for, but hopefully it illustrates how useful this can be when writing SQL. And as I mentioned, this is all around connecting to a database, grabbing your tables, and doing some quick analysis. That's very much the point of Analyst Studio in this Write SQL section. It's advertised as the section you go to do ad hoc queries. So that's really it in terms of Write SQL. You can see there is a blue section here, just says See AI Prompt Examples. If you click that, it takes you to a ThoughtSpot documentation page where it has some examples of the sorts of prompts you could put into AI, so that's useful just to have a reference guide there. The next video, we're going to be looking at, now you've written SQL, then what? Can you reuse it? And yes, you can. You would effectively create what's called a data set, and then that's reusable within Analyst Studio, but also you can publish that into ThoughtSpot itself to use in live boards and Spotter, etc. But we'll look at that in the next video, as I say. This one was purely showing you Write SQL from Analyst Studio. Hope you found that useful. Check out the 7D Experts LinkedIn page and our YouTube channel, where we've got lots of ThoughtSpot how-to videos and tutorials, looking at new features, looking at old features that are part of the product. Drop us a comment. If there's any features you'd like us to show on one of our how-to videos, we'd be happy to accommodate that. And of course, be in touch if you have any questions relating to ThoughtSpot. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.